Welcome to Getting to Know UBC. Today, our very special guest is our very own Laura Whitmore, and we're so happy to have her in her beautiful little porch there in her beautiful backyard. Laura, is this house number 3 in Shawnee?
Yes, house
Okay.
number 3.
All right. Well, it's great to have you. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to start several of our conversations on this have centered around meaningful quotes and different things. And when I get an email from you, which is quite often because you're so helpful in getting hymns and different things together and just and that communication, every time I get an email from you at the very bottom, there is this quote that I would like to read. So many people come into our lives and then leave the way they came, but there are those precious few who touch our hearts so deeply we will never be the same. Mary Engelbright. So can you tell us a little bit why that quote's meaningful to you, and maybe share an experience or two of those precious few who have come into your life and changed it?
Sure. Well, it's true that, we meet people along the way in our lives who, you know, we meet them and it's fine. But then there are some that we meet and they do change our lives. And I think besides my family, the person who first really made that difference in my life was Mary Beth Applewhite, a very Southern lady. She was my piano teacher in high school, and she changed the path of my life by introducing me to music in a different way than I'd ever experienced it.
Wow.
And she opened doors for me with that, and that made the difference for me in my life path. So it changed everything, and she has influenced me from seeing a picture in her house of her playing for her son who was playing the cello. I thought, oh, I would love to do that someday. And sure enough, we did. We have a son who plays the cello, and
So do you have a picture of that, of you playing for your son who plays the cello?
I don't think I do.
Now, which son is it that plays the cello?
That's Kenneth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kenneth is back living with you guys right now, right?
Yes, he's living with us right now, and I'm really glad because he's been very helpful, and he's our grocery store runner right now, and so that's been very helpful.
That's great. Now on to this life path thing a little bit. Mary Beth Applewhite, was that in Houston?
No, that was when I grew up in Wiley, Texas.
Okay.
She lived in Plano, and I would trek over to Plano every week, and she probably took me to the first classical concert I've ever been to. She took me places and helped me experience music in a different way.
Okay.
And in a deeper way than I ever had. And it was good.
And on to that depth of music, your family, probably more than the typical family, has been guided and moved, literally and figuratively, by music, probably more than most. If you could pick one thing that it is about music that just resonates with you and also helped form, in part, I guess, the bond with Keith, and then on to your sons, how did music do that, and what is it about music?
Music touches my soul, and it touches my heart, and I can hear music and I can play music and express my feelings. I can hear music and experience other people's feelings, and it's hard to express in words. Oops, my eyes are leaking. It's hard to express in words because it is such a heartfelt experience, and people who who understand music. And well, you don't have to understand music to experience how it can move you and how it can connect you to other people. And we're experiencing that right now with our little virtual choir. We're still being connected through music in that, and that's been a blessing to me. So music blesses my life in so many ways. Just listening to it, but also being able to express myself with music.
Being the person that affects other people's lives in the way that Mary Beth Applewhite affected your life, and we should all aspire to be those kind of people in different ways. Can you understand people for whom music doesn't do what it does for you, that have maybe another form of connection? Can you relate to those people?
Well, yes. We because we all have a different way that we express ourselves. Some people use their words. I'm not very good with my words. But I love to hear what other people do with their words. Yeah. Through the books that I read and poetry that we have amazing people that we know who can express themselves through their words in poetry and such. And it's a different language, but it serves the same purpose. So, people, not everyone's going to experience music the way I do. And that's okay because they have a different way. Some people love to get out and they express themselves through art. I cannot do that at all. And I have such great respect for the people who can. How do they do that? I don't know, but it's all a different way of expressing ourselves, and it's all God-given. So
yeah. I think connection is something obviously that we've strived hard. We've talked about this on a church staff, in a church staff sense, during this unique time in world history, in church history, and all of those kind of things. Connection has been one of those. How do we do it? You've talked about one way that we've remained connected. How has University Baptist Church, through the years and even currently for you, how have you seen it be a connection for you, and how have you seen it be a connection for others?
University Baptist Church has a special place in my heart because of the way it has, this family has reached out to us and ministered to us through so many things. They helped us raise our kids and had a wonderful impact and influence on their lives, from nursery workers to Sunday school teachers and youth ministers and music ministers and pastors. They've all touched the lives of my children. We could not have raised our children to be the young men that they are, the fine young men that they are, without that help. And I'm so grateful for that. When we moved to Shawnee, University Baptist Church reached out to us immediately and ministered to us in extremely deep and special ways. And we'll be forever grateful for that. And they've continued to do that in times of celebration and in times of sorrow. And we've had those through the years, sure. Both. And University Baptist Church is a big part of that every time.
All right, Laura. Well, thank you so much for taking time, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate you coming on. You have a great day.
Thank you. It's going to be a great day. It's beautiful outside.
It is.
So have a good day.